Welcome to Sequeled. This week we're talking Hereditary. My name's Blaise.
I am James.
We didn't actually talk too much about Hereditary on this show because we don't usually talk about newer movies, but that was both a movie that we really enjoyed. I think we saw it together, but you had seen it before or something.
I saw it 3 times in theaters.
Damn, 3, dude. What had you going back for more?
Just wanted to show it to different people and just get their interpretation. One was with you, one was with my sister, and then I saw it by myself for the first time.
So other people had you going back, not the movie necessarily.
Exactly, yeah. But though, I liked it enough. Like, I would say it is probably my favorite movie I've seen this year so far. I wouldn't say it's like the best movie, but I just found it the most enjoyable and beautiful movie. So I'm excited to see what you're going to do with it.
Beautiful? How dare you?
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I just felt like this movie came out of left field. It definitely feels very old school. It definitely feels like a 70s movie. You can make all the comparisons to Rosemary's Baby you want, and they're all true.
No! It can't be!
But yeah, I just felt like this was literally Rosemary's Baby for like a new generation, but then it had like these, like it was just very gory, like very surprising, super eerie, creepy. Like it felt like Dario Argento fell into a time machine and then made a movie again.
Yeah. That's the reference I always said. I would always say, like, it's like Suspiria, slow burn where nothing's really happening. There's creepiness. And then just in the final 15 minutes, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
It definitely actually made me a little excited for the new Suspiria. Like, if it's at all like Hereditary, I'm in. It's not going to be Suspiria for me, but it's like,
right.
You know?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Anyways, so just getting into it. This is A24's biggest movie to date. It made 79 million worldwide.
Congrats.
And A24, they're not really fans of sequels. I don't think they've made any sequels. This is the turning point for them.
I think we've said this before also with like Green Room, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like this is a turning point. Yeah. Nah, I don't think they would. So I think another distributor, film company would have to, get this going, find an indie horror director to make the sequel to Hereditary. But anyways, I love the last 10 to 15 minutes, like you're saying, is just batshit crazy. It drops a lot of plot about this demon, Paimon. And like he's one of Satan's like 8 disciples or something.
Good point. Yeah.
So that means there's like other disciples, other things going on here. This is a huge kind of like cult, like little conspiracy going on with these Satan worshipers. And I'd love to get more into that. Get some more information there. I think that was really interesting. But you literally get in the last 15 minutes, it just drops it on you, and then the film's over. Yeah. And you're just like, damn. Kind of wish I got a little more there. So that's where this film's going to go. I'm going to be taking a lot of influences from other classic horror films, and you could probably guess them as I go off on this. But anyways, this is going to take place in New England. I want it to be there. I know the original one's in like Utah or something. I know they shot it in Utah, but I don't know if they go too far into it.
I mean, of course it has that look too, though, the forest, but also flat desert look too.
Yeah, but I want this to be like more New England, more that kind of influence. Maybe it's like Massachusetts or Maine or something like that, but anyways, this is going to be with a family is going to be moving into this house. It's like an older house. It might be a little eerie, but nothing too out of the norm of like American suburbs. Anyways, they got the house for a steal. They've been saving up forever in this economic climate to finally become homeowners. And this house was a steal. They're like, wow, how could it be so cheap? They moved from far away to move here because the dad's a college professor. He works at the local university. Yeah. And he's very excited for this new shift for his family. It's very important. It's him. His name's going to be, I'll give the names just because it's easier to track what's going on in the story. But Jefferson, he's the father. He's a college professor. He teaches religious studies. His wife is May, and then he has 2 twin girls, April and Debbie. So I want a little Shining with the twin daughters, throw that in there. But anyways, he gets this house. It's a major fixer upper though. Like this thing, I guess kind of like The Conjuring, how they got this house, and it has like, it's like a fixer upper. They got to take care of this house. They want to make it their own, really.
At least you're not doing 12 kids things like the first and second one did, where there's just like so many kids. You're like, whoa, this is too many kids to keep all the.
I wanted to keep it simple. Yeah. But anyways, he's a religious studies teacher. teacher. He has like in his time he's teaching, and then when he has any extra time, he's trying to renovate the house. He doesn't really know too much about renovating, but he's all doing it DIY. He's watching YouTube videos to fix this puppy up. Or whatever. And one of the teachers he befriends, like one of the other professors, who's maybe another religious studies professor or whatever. I want to keep that whole thing of like religious, because this is obviously a Satan movie. So another teacher, Stanley, befriends him. He says he can help them fix the house. So he comes over on the weekend. They fix the house. He meets the family, whatever. They have dinner. It's all like just kind of like, he's a nice guy. He's like an older gentleman. And then basically the next night they wake up and one of the daughters is gone. She's just totally gone. There's no signs of like anyone broke in or anything. The last person they don't really know anyone in the town. So who would, they contact the police, let them know they're in hysterics because one of the daughters is missing. So the father kind of Jefferson blames Stanley in a way, not outwardly, but he like tells the cops like, well, he's the only one that we've really been in contact with. So, I mean, where are you going to point fingers if she goes missing? There's no clear cut, like we don't know what could have possibly, the other daughter wasn't awoken when this happened. So it's just, no one knows who to blame. Like, okay, well, maybe he could be a suspect. So the police go to like find him and his house is just in disarray. He's nowhere to be found at all. So they're like, it's gone cold. The case is cold, essentially. They don't know what's going on. Everyone's obviously very stressed. I don't really know where I want to go from there, but I kind of know like the ending that I want, essentially. And I thought originally, I'm like, oh, maybe it should be about like one of the other disciples, like I don't know the exact disciples of Satan, but like Paymon's obviously one of them. I would want it to be something like that. And then I'm like, nah, this has got to have like something of the beyond in it. So I want the house to essentially be like one of the gates of hell and shit.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I didn't want basically too much influence from the first movie. I'd maybe want like, you could see, was it Charlie or sorry, Peter? Who's the boy again?
It's Peter, yeah.
Peter's like, maybe he appears, Paymon appears, like maybe in some bits of it he's like super creepy, but you don't like, I wouldn't want him to be like a character in the movie. I want him to still have this mysticism of like, oh dude, he's Paymon now, he ain't Peter. I don't want him to be trying to live like a normal life. So I felt like this being like a gate of hell, and maybe that's where one of the twins got sucked up into the gate of hell, and they slowly start finding out like, okay, now the Stanley, the other professors, like they find his body in the attic, like headless. Like you have a lot of these influences from the original Hereditary, but I wanted to have like that whole like Amityville kind of, it's like this house has got something going on with it. It's like the things that are happening are driving the family like crazy. Like there's no explanation.
Also, like it's a movie where I feel like you have to like work your way backwards from ending to the beginning and how you got there. And like what I like so much about the first one is that essentially like it's not really a spoiler, but everything's been set up from the beginning. So you can like set it up to where they were always intended to take that house. They were always intended to go, like certain people were always intended to go missing in order to like release, like open this gate or something.
Definitely. I think I just took the influence from the beyond of like, I always thought that was like badass, that like the house was a portal to hell, and you're just like, oh my God. And then the end when they go through the portal, you're just like, what's going on here?
Another Italian director that like a lot of people don't know about the Beyond, but that's such a fantastic fucked up movie.
It's bad.
Like, I love it.
It's not a great movie. I mean, I love it. I've seen it in theaters like with an orchestra and shit. I'm not gonna say like I don't like it, but I think with all those like movies, it's Fulci, right?
Yes.
So with all those like Fulci movies, he just doesn't explain a lot. Like, and sometimes it's like to the detriment of the audience.
And it's cut really weirdly, I'll say.
Exactly.
There'll just be someone going like, and then it'll just be a normal establishing shot of a house, and you're like, what the fuck?
It definitely has some type of magic to it, but I want to bring some of those influences into this. I mean, I obviously saw a lot of similar influences in Hereditary, but I'd want to like bring even more crazy kind of influences into this sequel for Hereditary. I know that people wouldn't necessarily want a sequel maybe to Hereditary. The film doesn't need a sequel, but I think like expanding on the lore that they give you in that last 15 minutes could be something really exciting.
Yeah.
Something to really capitalize on.
Yeah. I like the idea of unleashing like another like demon or as you said, a disciple of Satan or something. That's really cool. Like I forgot about that line with, Paimon's just one of many disciples. So
yeah. So I don't know if I would want to like maybe throw in a disciple or maybe Paimon's in it somewhat, but I would want him to be more, not in it so that he still like has this kind of mysticism to him. Because if Peter's just there, he's all normal, like he's brushing his teeth.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could get into that.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, that's kind of the idea I have for Hereditary. I'd want it to definitely be balls to the wall crazy and have all this kind of lore surrounding. Obviously Jefferson, the father, is like a religious studies teacher, so maybe he's even like going through the books like, oh my god, a lot of these signs are the same. And,
Thank God for the library that has everything I need.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for Sequel this week. Tune in next week to Sequel to find out what we're going to be sequelizing. See you guys then.